is a good tuna, but I think I paid too much.
I always wear my mask and wash my hands after going home.
I am the king of the ring.
All right, welcome to the Japan Wut Podcast. This is going to be a special episode. I like to focus on AI markets, AI trends, which I learned a lot when I was in that business and industry. And ever since I've been doing podcasting, I've kept up with it more or less. And I've been tooling around a lot with an AI music generator called Suno.com. They've recently released their 4.5 version, or version 4.5, I guess I should say. And I've been tooling around with it. And I've been making these very fun instrumental grooves based around two concepts. One's like the bottom end, and then there's the top end. The bottom end involves like a lot of rhythm, of course, but it's process like compression and tape emulations. And it's either a hip hop grooves or break beats or just tight grooves or pocket drums or something like that. It's kind of blocky, like. And then on top of that, there's trumpets and guitars and synthesizers. And what I was hoping to do is I was trying to create like these blocky bottoms and have the top, instead of just kind of playing willy-nilly, fuse them in a way where the top is quite crisp and clear and the bottom is quite muddied up a little bit. But they merge together and create something new and something maybe you'd never heard before. So today, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to play about an hour's worth of AI tunes, and I hope you join me on this interesting little podcast we got lined up for tonight. It's a Friday night here, and I thought I would put out a Friday night groove, so anybody tuning in now can groove along on their way home. And this is like, they're not fast, they're not slow. It's designed to get you to where you need to be, but also to not get there too quickly. That's the idea here. So I have a whole bunch of innuendo-y titles for these songs, and the first one's going to be called Blow My Bell Tonight. Here we go. You kind of see it's like a... Hello, trumpets. All right, so you kind of get the idea. That's the vibe we're going for here, like a solid bottom end and like a free flowing top end, but they kind of fuse together. So that was called Blow My Bell Tonight, just a little sampler. The next one we're going to start off fresh and clean with the next title, Lick My Spit Valve Clean. is all AI. I just put in the prompts. This came out. And that was Lick My Spit Valve Clean. Next up, we got Funk Me on the Lip. Yeah. These are just designed to get you where you need to be. That was Funk Me on the Lip. A lot of this features trumpets, by the way. I hope you like trumpets. I know I do. I remember listening to a lot of, in the 20, 30 years ago now, hip-hop grooves with trumpets over them and stuff like that. So that was Funk Me on the Lip. Next up, we got Jive with My Slide. That's AI. I jive with my slide. So as you can see, the bass is kind of boom, boom, ga, boom, 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 bump, but the effects are always a little bit different. Sometimes it's hairier. Sometimes you get a little bit more of an ambiance, some space with some reverb. Sometimes you get a snare that's really dry. Sometimes you get one that's a little papery. And then sometimes you get one that kind of has a lot of volume or expansion into it. It all does this by itself. So if you've ever messed around with production audio equipment or software and stuff like that, it takes so long to do anything creative with it. And the fact that this AI technology can just take it off from the beginning and give it to you when you need it says something about it. This one is called Groove That Tight Spot. Groove that tight spot. You gotta groove that tight spot. Go. Hey guys, gave a little pump at the end there. So that one was called Stomp My Horn Hard. And as you can see, it's taken the more of a horn section-y approach instead of like a rough bass and electronic drum approach. So interesting how the AI will just take one aspect and run with it, take another aspect with run with it. You just hit create, and before you know it, you got a podcast. This next one is called Polished My Bell This Morning. If you're a trumpet player, you gotta polish your bell. Yeah, polished my bell this morning. This next one's called Spit on My Slide. That type of rhythm stuff is like, it's weird how good it is, how much I actually like it. I like listening to this music. That one was called Spit on My Slide. Next up, we got Wipe My Horn. First you polish your bell in the morning, then you gotta wipe my horn. pixie there. Now we got that crunchy bass line. Yeah. This one's called My Bell is Wet. My bell is wet. That was My Bell is Wet. Yeah, this is the state of the art of artificial intelligence music generation right here. The next one is called Empty My Horn Fast. Empty My Horn Fast. Sounds change quite a bit too, huh? Sometimes they're like under the beat, and sometimes they're over the beat. Sometimes they're melodic, sometimes they're soloing, sometimes they're harmonious. where it's getting the arrangements for those horns, huh? There's there's so many different use cases for trumpets. Like now this sounds completely different again. So we're going from Empty My Horn Fast to this song, You Made My Valves All Sticky. Fading out by itself too. Another reason I chose trumpets was because until recently, this AI music generation was not good at acoustic instruments. It was good at electric pianos or electric guitars somewhat, but this idea of instruments that exist in a real world situation, it wasn't able to emulate it that well. But now it's getting pretty good. If you've ever recorded trumpets, it's not easy to record. They often sound really bad in a microphone unless you got the right equipment. Even though these trumpets don't always sound, that sounds good. Getting it in the studio is sometimes even harder. So that was You Made My Valves All Sticky, and this is Suck on My Mouthpiece. Cheesy. I'm still here. There's the trumpets. Well, should I talk about how I used to have such a musical community? quirky one, isn't it? Yeah, I used to play a lot of shows. I spent a lot of my life playing music. Then COVID came along, blew it all up. A lot of the people I knew moved away. If it wasn't for this AI stuff, I would have no musical outlet right now. So for me, it's quite the nice thing. So that was Suck on My Mouthpiece. This one is called, affectionately, Caress My Dirty Beats. This is weird melody. Is it a bass line? Is it a trumpet? What's the AI doing? Back to it. Like a euphonium. That was AI. That lower end in the murky part mentioned earlier. This was an octave higher. It wouldn't be murky, I don't think. That was Caress My Dirty Beats. I just put that in there because it was so creative. I don't think I'd ever heard a band ever do something like that before. Getting into the groove, this one's called She Slaps My Bell. Coming at you from the Izumicho Studios in Shinjuku, Tokyo, Japan. The armpit of Asia. interplay between the horns and the bass there. This interesting kind of synth thing in the background. All right. Some of you might be wondering with the BPM here. They're all at 120. I wanted to just stabilize the BPM to see what it would come up with and differentiate. This one's called Too Hot to Horn. Included just to exhibit how the trumpet can just continuously solo and create alternative melodies and rhythms and accents and things like that over top of a beat. Again, it's just taking it into that level. This next one is called Wet Lips on My Piece. Wet Lips on My Piece. right, that's kind of a quirky one as well, but it was just tight. All those horn lines working together. It's also mixing them up and all that. I'm not sure if I'm going to play this one. I'm going to play this one instead. This one's called, I'm going to pause it, Finishing My Groove All Over Your Slick Mouthpiece. Yeah. That one has kind of a lurid title. I'll agree with you there. Finishing My Groove All Over Your Slick Mouthpiece. It's all innuendo based on trumpets and songs. And one time at band camp, kind of in that vein, I put a float. And that song, I don't think humans would ever make that song. In a way, it's like, it sounds like it was made by some sort of experimental group of Eastern Europeans on some fishing trip in Tahiti. I know that's what you're thinking, but I'm not sure if a group of humans would come together and write that song that way. Is that unique? Some of the other ones just feel kind of generic in a way, good to listen to, but, you know, good background music. But that one for me is like, ooh, that's touching on some interesting patterns and arrangements and melodies and stuff like that. We're nearing the end here. We're going to play one or two more. The next one we're moving on to is called Jam My Valve Hot. Make sure to go to MatthewPMBigelow.com. Check out the other podcasts. Might do more of these. But generally I focus on trends, news. right, I'm going to skip that one. This one's called Blasted in Her Bell. Go to MatthewPMBigelow.com. Make a donation at paypal.me/JapanWut. Getting where you need to go? All right. Well, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for listening to this special podcast episode. AI music episode number 1. What am I calling it? I think I wrote it down here. Saved into my photos, I believe. AI music special number 1. Trumpets and Grooves. Very simplistic title, but I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're getting to where you need to go. With the AI music, pretty incredible that you can just pop that in through a keyboard and it comes back at you through the internet, huh? All that stuff there. I'm not trying to say it's all amazing, but I am trying to say that's the state of the art. And it does take music in ways that I would never imagine it would normally go. As somebody who's been playing music my whole life, I listen to some of those arrangements and I go, whoa, what's going on there? I've worked with some pretty amazing musicians over the period of my life, and none of them have come up with ideas such as that. And I'll leave it with this as on a philosophical note, and I apologize for that. People often say when they're writing or doing something creative that it's coming through them. Oh, it's not me writing it. It's something else. It's a vibration. It's a spirit. It's a God, whatever you want to say. Well, isn't it possible now that we can use the history of our music, of our recent music, I would say from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, thousands, that area. There's enough in there that now we can tap into it to create new music. It's just coming through the vibrations of the ones and zeros. The ones and zeros are vibrating through the algorithms, wirelessly being transmitted through the internet to bring us new tunes. Is that really so bad? Is that really so scary? I kind of like what it's doing a lot of the time. I like that I can just hit create, delete the crappy ones, keep the medium to the good ones, and I got a new playlist. I don't have to wait for an artist for 3 years to come back with some potentially completely different vision. Don't know, or maybe they die. The AI will not die. So thank you for listening to the Japan Wut Podcast special music episode. Until next time, everybody, I bid thee a very warmful and heartful Ja Mata. No.